and the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Rader,
Present.
Danny Clark,
Present.
Jason Green.
Here.
Brandon Carrico, not present. Mark Loogootee,
Present.
Attorney Stephen Peterball,
Present.
Clerk Treasurer Lori Carrico, present.
Okay, unfinished business, nothing there under new business. Item A, the insurance renewals actually for the council, leash law, fire extrication equipment, and PPPE. Arthur.
Yeah, I'll start with the PPE. I said last month, we talked about the money for the gear. I do have that quote. That's about it as well. To outfit the next 5 people, we're looking about $3,972 per person for this PPE. This PPE is not, like I said before, is required in NFPA. Some of these will be a little less because I believe it has helmets on here that we were able to purchase ahead of time. So it will be, should be not be more than that per person. I do have another quote. I didn't get it turned off to get to me today, which is about a little over $2,500 for the others that are going to be classified as the reserves. They don't have to have the turnout gear like this right here that we have to have for structure fires. To still be rated to protect them on any type of fire, not going into structure. Protect it from heat, like car fires and things like that. So it would be about $2,500. Even though they are going to be reserved, we still have to protect them. We still have to give them the PPE and things like that. The other part I did mention was the extrication. We're looking at $46,993. That includes batteries, repair work. The company is giving us $2,000 per equipment, which is about $8,000. They give us back for the old equipment they're going to buy. I did, my bad. I thought the meeting was this month, 31st, but I didn't realize it was July 31st. I did not get it. Plan is to move forward with it. At the same time, I'm still going to present this because they're going to sell us the tools, but as far as the extra $8,000 that's coming off, this is it. They actually held it back one more time for us. So we're looking about $8,000 more on top of this because they won't buy the tools back. That program is done. Now, there's a chance we probably could try to sell the tools to the department, but they're older tools. We just sold a set to Lost River, so they won't be able to buy this set because they've already used their funding for this year. So I just want to present it to the council. I feel bad on that part right there because I really want to try to do that. But that's on me. I'll take that blame. But at the same time, as due diligence, I have to bring this to the council again. Hopefully it's approved. If not, you want to move forward with the grant, we'll do that. But there's a chance that the $8,000 will be more. That's all I really have on that one. Again, October we're going to size for 5 guys for turnout gear. So they're 100-day turnaround. So we're looking about next year to have to pay. We don't pay until we get the product. So I don't know if that's something we want to try sooner to get on this year, or
When do you have to actually replace the equipment?
the turnout gear we need to replace. We'll be good in October to get it for the next year because there's we're probably about a month or 2 into the next year where we have to have it replaced. By January it will be replaced. So we're looking probably about February, March. And I thought this would be a lot longer turnaround, but it's actually 100 days, which is good. Like last time it was like 10 months, I think, last time we went for it. So, but that we'll have to do. We have to outfit, the next 5. And then after that, we'll have 2 more rounds, and that's it for about 5.5 to 5 years before we have to outfit all over again. Now, mind you, that's not counting new people that come on, or if somebody rips a jacket or tears up, PPE during a fire.
And how many do you need for the, reserve firefighter?
They're gonna be our last ones to outfit as of right now. So
We're looking at.
we're looking at 7 people, for that. So, and that's about $2,500. I'd say 26 to be safe.
That'll be next year then?
Yeah. So we're looking about 10 more sets that, and like I said, this may go up at $39.72, but as of right now, it's $39.72. I had him quote me head to toe. I figured it's a lot easier to come in high and be like, hey, guess what? We only spent $3,300 because we had element on the order ahead. So I'm looking for that to be 39.72 or less. That's it.
When do you need to give them a go ahead on this?
I'll just tell them whenever the council approves it, we'll just say, hey, set us in October, or we can do it anytime sooner than that.
I didn't see the Hamaltro quote in our agenda packet. Did
They
you?
came in a lot higher still. I did not get a chance to talk to him. I really don't think he's gonna come down $27,000.
Do you know those quotes aren't apples to apples? There was more on the Hamaltro quote than quotes on Amphis. And
Okay.
I did reach out to him today, and I've got 2 quotes from him, one with those items, one without. And he's also doing it by trade-in.
So would he do outfit both trucks for that
Hey.
price? Because at $46,000, we're outfitting 2 trucks. We're doing this one, and we have a combination tool
Mhm.
that will combination tool
Yeah,
that'll help the other.
Got
Okay.
it here for you.
All right, that's good.
And for everyone else who wants one. But it breaks down everything, so. I did better
I know the only
representation.
thing about Hamaltro that's kind of, is they have their own special battery.
Mhm.
You're looking at $2,000. I know what things are under warranty, I do get that.
Their 10-year
Uh,
warranty, the
We can
DeWalt
walk
ones.
down to, Airworks and get a DeWalt battery in minutes versus days.
It's got a
weeks, however it comes out.
3-year warranty on those, so over the life of 10 years, we're gonna have to buy 3 more sets of those, or 2 more sets. But when you see this,
And
you'll
they're
see,
$2,000 for the Hamaltro, right, batteries?
Yeah.
Okay.
got 2,400.
And I think the batteries from Airworks was the outfit, all those,
726.
Yep. which has 3 batteries.
Mhm. You get 5 for $4,880 through Hamaltro, so just
Okay.
over 1,000 feet.
Okay. So it's 242 for one versus 1,000.
Mhm.
Okay.
And by the
You
time
said we're
you
gonna replace what, how many?
of
We
the
have to
DeWalt,
replace the wall to 3. So
the,
3 we're still under 1,000.
Mhm.
4 we're still under 1,000. 5 are all a little bit over.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, guys did both of them. They did Hamaltro and Amphis. They really liked Hamaltro. Then Amphis came in, Amphis came in, sorry, and they really liked that one as well. I know one guy said he was kind of concerned. He said, "Well, I like it because this has a lifetime warranty. This has 10 years. In 10 years, we're going to replace these. In 10 years, I'm not going to be the chief. It's going to be somebody else. You know, so in 10 years, you're going to replace the product. So I'm looking at people in the area that has Amphis. Taylor Township, Washington, Hayesville has Amphis. They run the same thing. Shoals is Genesis or
first, or
First.
TNT.
First. So Hamaltro, Crane runs Hamaltro, but it's on a hydraulic. They're looking at Amphis as well. So that's one thing the mayor wanted me to do is figure out what the area departments had as well. So, and so, no, I mean, we can look into that. You guys want to table this one? That's fine. We can look and see what they're offering as well, and we can compare both. I was looking at $69,000 at the time we had it versus 46,000.
He did knock off 5%, and for the apples to apples comparison, we're at 58,000.
58,000.
So over the span of 10 years, we're talking $1,000 a year difference.
Yeah, it's whatever you guys decide on that. You guys want to hold off? Hey, that's great. We can do that. Look at the other. You get the best bang for the buck.
What-
I'm just looking at, because there's other things we're gonna need in the department, we're gonna need vehicles and stuff like that, so yeah, $1,000, we go on for something else. Yeah.
Danny or Mark, what's your thought?
I sort of agree with Jason.
Yeah. Let's compare apples and go on.
That works.
Especially when I'm hearing he may have to buy other stuff too. I think we,
What's your rough deadline?
it's already passed.
I mean, it's it. Yeah, they've already extended and everything, because they had a thing going for us. Yeah, I mean, that's where it's at.
And this quote's good till the end of the year. We got time.
Want someone make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Favor?
Aye. Yeah.
It would have been nice if the
Okay.
chief, it would have been nice if the chief would have had that ahead of time.
I just got it today.
Listen, as far as getting quotes, it's hard to get, sometimes these guys get back this quick. I just got the one for the other gear as I was coming to here, so I didn't have it printed out. I know the struggle on getting those back.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay. Yes, on the PPE, so we still have a couple months to really act on this. But
Yeah,
what kind of lead time do they need?
If we know something by, next month's meeting or something, we're good. We just gotta get ready to move in October, as far as getting the sizing going, get the order in, and then put them out, like I said, January.
All right, Lori, what are we, on the lowest, that's what I'd have to come out of. You're looking just under 20,000 if it's at 39.72, be good to go on that. Okay.
That's fine.
All right, thanks.
That's it.
We'll, do that for next month. Okay, next item, D, event downtown or request for downtown. You've had a chance to look over everything.
I have looked over the petition that's been filled out. I did notice that the indemnification statement's not been signed. I've been in contact through the lawyers. My understanding is that it's the group organizers believe that they do not have to sign the identification statement. My recommendation is that we go ahead and proceed on their application, knowing that that statement has not been signed, because everybody knows there is ongoing litigation involved over the ordinance. So my recommendation is that the council take a vote here on, Board of Works, take a vote here on the petition and make a decision.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Hang on one second. The indemnification is identification, yes, is, I feel is very necessary. It's in a public area, and the liability out there is just huge. That's my opinion. I'm sorry? You do have a policy on the file? No, it's not actually anything having to sound, it's what has to on the square,
The way I read it,
Actually, Summerfest did not have to comply with that.
They have an application to-
Got a motion on the floor, I'm taking it. What's your motion, Jason?
That we approve their application from the old festival downtown.
Anybody else second? No second? Motion dies for lack of support. Anybody else want to entertain a motion?
With everything that's going on downtown, with the green space area, why don't we
Sidewalks.
just have it out at the city park this year, guys, and we can readdress it next
Not a-
Is that your motion to make it to the city park?
year? Yes.
Need a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mark, you got it?
Aye.
Jason?
No.
Motion carried 3-1, city park.
I mean, we're gonna have a lot of construction going on in the green area downtown. About the same time, September 7th.
Okay.
The gazebo.
We've already, it's voted and on, I'm not gonna discuss it any further, we're gonna move on to number E. Brush pile policy and procedure. I'm gonna ask Bo to elaborate on this. Right now, we have shut down all dumping down there at the city, industrial park. For the simple fact that everybody thinks it's a dump for trash, so Bo, elaborate a
Yeah,
little
we
more
currently
here.
do not have anything. We have internally put up signs, no dumping. People are not paying attention to it. They're still dumping. Uh, We had a permit to burn the debris, which was expensive. We were within the guidelines of the permit, but at the same time, that was considered an emergency burn due to the storms that have rolled through on a couple different occasions. We don't have any way of handling it right now. I think it needs to be addressed, A, right now, immediately, put a cease and desist dumping on a property.
What are you gonna do with it? Where's people gonna dump it at, though? That's my question.
Well, I thought we was looking at a chipper.
We do have,
We
yes,
do have
We have a
to-
chipper?
we do. But we also, we have the property south of town, that's where we plan on moving it to, but we need policy and procedures to follow. If we've got somebody from our neighbors across the county line dumping down here, it's for the community. It's not for the county or Southwest Indiana. We've had building materials, we've had concrete, we've had toilets, you name it, they dump it down there. And that stuff's not acceptable. You can burn your rubbish, your yard waste on your property. I can't burn your yard waste on our property.
Understood.
I get in. We have special permit to be able to burn due to the storms that have went through.
Notice it's just molded today, so that's what my fire station.
That's it.
Big logs that should be done.
Well, what it is,
Well, that's, we've separated that kind of stuff, but still, I mean, people are dumping anything they want to. We try to separate it
so
out.
you burned it without knowing what was actually in the fire.
No one knew what was in it. There's
You-
construction
you-
material.
you got under the pile. But that's a huge pile.
It started from scratch. There's logs in there that, yes, there were logs in there that were good size.
It's like wood, everything's like
No,
wood.
It's all been, and he's already said, it's all been separated out. It's all tree limbs and trees. So anyway, but,
Wood doesn't burn.
Okay. guys, we're not gonna carry on this, okay?
the size of the logs, the heat of the fire that was the initial heat of that, and then we rolled dirt on top of it, mud and everything else. I think fire department went down there once or twice to extinguish it, but you can only go through so deep. You burn material at home, I'm sure. On occasion, in your youth, I mean, we all played with fire, we all played with matches. It's common sense.
All right, well, to help this out, we did buy the wood chipper, okay? They wanted 17,000, we got it for 14,000. We saved quite a bit of money. We did check it out, it ran great. We are in the process of setting up a vehicle or acquiring another vehicle to set it up for the wood chipping, and instead of having people take down their tree limbs or whatever like that, we are hoping or planning to get something set up that we do a pickup maybe once a week or every other week. And we don't have to worry about that, and we can control what's going in and out, but we do need to get some type of policy and procedure in place on
Because
that.
people are still, I mean,
That's my question. How are we gonna keep
Friday
contractors from dumping
that's just
Yeah.
it.
material down
If you have a tree cut down at your home, a contractor is going to charge you for removal of that debris.
there?
They bring it down to us.
I'm talking about like construction material,
Oh,
like
well,
Carlos.
yeah, we don't have any control over down there.
The only thing we can do is put up a fence of some sort or
On
chain.
Friday evening, when the day they lit that fire, that evening, somebody went down there and dumped 8 logs on it, right in the middle of the road. And they, I mean, they were 6, 8 inch logs, 8, 10 foot long. That's the kind of stuff that we have to deal with.
That's why we come from the tree.
I want to get to a point where we don't have to burn. We don't have, don't take it the wrong way. We don't have to sit here and debate on what's in there, how to get disposed of it. If we don't accept it, we go away with it. It's been an open dump site for too long. And people are not respecting our property or our inability to get it disposed of.
No, it's become a city landfill, basically.
Not just the northeast, it's the southeast too.
I don't live all over town, I live blocks away, and God.
Then you gotta have electricity to operate them. You got people down there that's gonna destroy them. It becomes, now it becomes an archery range, shooting range. I mean, people are,
If they don't drop it there, they're gonna drop it out in the county. Off the grid.
well,
But that's where we're at on that as far as the wood chipper and trying to get something set up on that for the future. And
Well-
as Bo has said, sooner than later, so.
and that's why I'd like to get more work. We have a meeting at some time to be able to discuss what needs to be done, put into a policy. What's right and what's wrong. Like I said, you can burn yard waste at your home, but I can't burn your yard waste on our property. People don't understand, it's been a service that we've accepted for a long time. What was it, 3 years ago, I didn't come down here and said no more burning. But we can have a special permit when there's been a storm that's not freeze down and whatnot. But then you have people that clean it up, throw it in the back of their pickup truck along with the neighbor's shingles or their own shingles and everything else, and it ends up down there and we can't get it. That's part of what was burning. I'm sure, no, we didn't sift through it stick by stick. It's impossible. The amount of debris that was down there.
The company's gonna make it Saturday, we can have,
Well, it, to the best of my knowledge, it's just rotten trees that don't burn. They will sit there and smoke. And it smells like a dead pond.
And I will say this, last year the city paid $25,000 to have all that debris hauled off. So by us purchasing a wood chipper is a lot more reasonable than spending another $25,000 to have it hauled off again.
Yeah, yes.
Now that's where we need to get the policy. We will.
And that's why I brought it up.
Plus, you gotta be able to control your site, right? If you can control your site where you're gonna put stuff, you can eliminate all that.
And that's what we're gonna do on the south side of town there, is be able to control the site better. Fenced off, gated and everything, so we'll have the ability to keep people out that want to sneak stuff in after hours or early hours or whatever. All righty. Thanks, Bo. Item F is gonna go to the council. Number G, wastewater treatment plant SCADA system. Bo, you have the floor again.
Okay, everybody's been presented with a proposal from Westford Engineering. Their proposal is you don't have cover. It was within the email that was sent out, I know that, right? So, I guess with that being said, make sure you get copies. Table it, take it under advisement until next meeting. What it amounts to is that the wastewater treatment plant, everything is manually operated. If there's a failure during the night, it's a failure all night long. It can become a problem with technology advancing every day. SCADA systems going to be something that's probably going to be mandated eventually. I'd like to get ahead of the ball game. I will make copies of this. I'm not going to put price on it right now. But something that we need to look into. But the technology is changing, the way things operate is changing, notification, alarms and stuff is kind of non-existent right now. It gives your staff the ability to move a little more freely about the place. If they're out and about, it throws an alarm, it'll come to the phone, or, there's a lot of good things to come with it. So, with that, I guess, table it until next month. Thank you.
Thanks, Bo. I did skip one thing on the agenda, I forgot, I apologize, but I need to get a motion to approve the minutes from the previous month's meeting. Someone wanna make that motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll say,
2 seconds,
I did.
all in favor?
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Okay, utility adjustments.
If somebody noticed there's also right off. There's utility adjustments, school adjustments, and then there's a couple pages of right off. I'm flexible with that, with part of your receipt.
You already verified all these.
The known adjustments, yes.
Well, I don't see a reason to go through every one of them, and you,
Pardon me?
I don't see a reason to go through them all if you've already
Right, it's all in review.
You good with everything here, Bo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we need to make a motion to approve the, utility adjustments as presented.
I'll make that motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then do the write-offs in the second motion.
Yes, sir. Nope, we'll do it separately.
Okay.
On the write-offs, we got a total of $1,185.93. Counts as a write-off, persons responsible are deceased. So 14 different accounts, they vary different, $18 up to 256.09. So just various amounts. So I'd like to get a motion to approve the write-offs for $1,185.93.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right. Chief, department report.
So we had 112 activities, 3 arrests and 2 tickets. Well, probably none of those were done.
Well, that is something that's gonna have to be addressed at some point. We received that letter back from the county, from the attorney, 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago.
It was
I can't remember
in
exactly.
April, I believe. So.
So it's been a while.
Yes, sir.
They said they were gonna come up with a plan, or at least look at talking about things, and nothing has been, brought up to my knowledge. That, we know it's a problem, but on the same hand, we need to make sure that we know we have strays, but at the same time, we got people that have dogs, animals, and they let them run too, so.
Yeah, the problem with that, however, is we don't know if they are sprays or not. We've only had 3 out of all the dog calls we've had, however many, 300, whatever it is. There's only been 3, maybe 4. So I lose track after how many dogs. That's actually had collars on when we get back to the owners, right? So the rest of them are, they don't have any collars at all. They're just, in fact, we had 11 dog calls in the last 4 days, 11, and none of them have collars. Right? So, it is I know I keep talking about this. Fortunately, we went through the summer without any incident. Although we almost had one at the park, I told the man about it. A dog tried to get inside a baby carriage, a 2-month-old baby, tried to maul it. One of the off-duty male ladies grabbed the dog and pulled it off. She almost got bit. So I'm telling you, this has got to be something that has to be.
Does the police
Anyway,
department,
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
police department have a chip reader to see
No,
if these animals
and it
are
wouldn't
chipped?
matter. Most of them I'm not going to get that close to anyway, right? Most of them do that, right? Because some of them are really, they're getting really, really aggressive, Mark. You don't even understand.
Well,
This
your
is bad.
nephew and his wife, or your cousin and his wife, got 2 that keeps getting out, and they're friendly dogs. Pat, Wagner.
Oh, once. That was last week.
No, they were out again yesterday. Their electric fence, something's wrong with it.
So, this is really, really, really getting bad. I don't know if people's just dumping them, which is heartbreaking to me, as a dog guy. So I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I digress. But,
Well, maybe we need to approach the county and after we find out,
Yes, sir.
since they've got 15 million plus in reserves, maybe we can get something done.
yeah. Anyway, that's, it's just kind of, 11 dog calls in 4 days. That's kind of outrageous.
We've got money for everything else, but not some other stuff. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
time to start putting that. Take care of stuff.
Yes, sir. All right.
City doesn't have that kind of reserve,
Right.
so.
Yes, ma'am.
I live on the southeast side of the city,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's a real problem. My dogs have an invisible fence, they stay in my yard. But other dogs come into my yard all the time. I have little dogs. Um, but now when I take them outside, I have to put them on a leash if I know the dog is loose, or stay outside from the dog the entire time. And that should not be the case in my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people don't see it, and we're the ones that get the calls, so we're the ones that annotate all this. I'm just worried somebody's gonna get mauled. That's going to
Yeah,
down.
I mean-
Or another animal, right?
Yeah, like little kids ride a bike and the dog chases them and they get, or another dog gets attacked in the yard. And the dog comes to me, they're like, really, right? And
Yeah.
another set of children, so, I really, as a resident, I would really like for them to be afforded and actually enforced.
Well, there's
Well,
no
we have a
ordinance,
leash.
I could create 1,000 ordinances, but if there's no collar on, how do I know who it belongs to, right? So I'm up to here with ordinances, because ordinances is not applicable to a dog we don't even know who the owner belongs, who it belongs to, right? They're just strays. So, I know there's dumping from Davies County, they're dumping over here, I know that for a fact. So, I'm so fed up with ordinances. People say, well, we've got ordinance. Well, yeah, we sure do, right? But I can't enforce it if I can't identify who the dog belongs to.
I
right?
know there's a couple in my neighborhood that do have collars that
Yeah.
do have owners, and the owners just don't keep them.
Now, we can enforce that, right? Certainly, yeah. But I was Mr. Mayor, we really need to address this with the county and all that. Thank you.
Bo?
All right, for the month of July, we had 77 service calls, 112 line locates, 276 office calls. We produced, treated 14.06 million gallons of water, 453,000 gallons daily average. We sold 9 million gallons to Davies County. Rural water, wastewater treatment plant, we treated 10.9 million gallons. For the plant at 30 bucks for the month of July.
Yeah, sorry. We had 17 fire runs and about 26 medical calls.
Thank you. No further ado, ask for a motion to adjourn.
The June ordinance you all approved with the city attorney got, the council approved by motion to vacate the rules. I've been unable to get a copy of it because it hasn't been signed by everybody.
The Board of Works doesn't have to sign, that's the council signs that ordinance. Ordinance are signed by, put in place through council.
So, but I've been, I gave a 7-page application based on the ordinance. And I can't even get a copy.
It was all signed, but I don't know what happened to the signature page. Yeah, it was all signed that night. And I didn't enforce. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay, anybody. That's not much. That's it, not me.
That's Jason Green. Oh. You know, sure. Okay.
All she did is take out, I guarantee you, she would just take out Martin County. Yeah. Yeah, so that,
One, two, three. He's buzzing him on the end. How we doing, Jason?
Okay, we'll go ahead and call in order the common council. Stand for the pledge. Put those allegiances to the flag. United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Nate Rader.
Present.
Carol Rahill.
Here.
Dave Smith.
Here.
Mike Engelmann.
Here.
Darren Collins.
Here.
Mark McAfee.
Present.
Attorney Stephen Seaversball.
Present.
Clerk Treasurer Lori Carrico.
Need a motion to approve the claim of the minutes from last month's meeting.
Mayor, before we start, I'd like to request if we have a moment of silence for Donnie Grindstaff, former member of the city, worked in the city for a lot of years, well-respected gentleman, friends to about everyone. So I'd like to request a moment of silence for Donnie if we could.
we get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous month's meeting.
I'll make the motion. Mark, I'll second.
Alright. All in favor?
Aye.
Get a motion to approve the claim.
I make the motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is the adoption of the one-way ordinance.
Ordinance to designate a one-way street, the street commonly known as Public Square Street that runs between John F. Kennedy Avenue and North Line Street shall be designated a one-way street running in a westerly direction from North Line Street to John F. Kennedy Avenue.
Everybody know where that's at? I get a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Alright,
I'll second.
Mark, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, under new business. Told of cleaning the carpet here. You don't have a copy of that?
I've seen it on the internet.
You have that copy.
Data solution. Carpet clean, free spray, deep scrub, hot water extraction, free calling, treasurer's office, building commissioner's office, foyer, mayor's office, and I believe also the little foyer out there outside the all the street, $600.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Carol, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item is our current insurance here. Our insurance renewal. 2% increase. You want to go with that?
Yes, you should have in the packet or the next Tuesday.
Oh, I seen it. I didn't know what it was.
So that's the renewal, it's a 2% increase on the same plan. If you want to continue with the same plan, same fund, same deductible, the approval, if you want to look at different plans, there is a packet with all the different plans and the associated prices. Basically, similar plans with different deductible levels.
Is this the best insurance plan we have that you offer as far as what we have?
It is, if you want to keep those lower deductible, so we have seen where some people are, pushing up the deductibles to try to save on premium, but, I think, from previous discussions, it was pretty important for the city to keep those deductibles reasonable. We did in the past also look at doing like an underwritten plan, so, everybody has to go out questionnaire, ourselves and that sort of thing. Those prices ended up coming in higher. The one that you've been for years, that has, we've kept it. We keep it still.
We do that, and that's what she said, because of PCI.
You can, if you want an underwritten plan, they will have to require everybody to, the information is confidential, so it does not go to the employees the plan does require a continued Indiana, Chamber of Commerce membership at $500 a year, because this plan is through it's an Anthem plan, but it's through the member test. It's required. That is something that is always.
I know we looked at what AIM offers, if you could accelerate it. Insurance they offer. And we provide that to them. Or is that 2 months ago?
That's all there.
And actually, they came back and said that what we had was better than what they could offer. So I just want to put that out there that we did do protection on some stuff. And they could not beat what we supposed to have that health insurance.
Everybody's pretty happy with it. Oh, everybody.
I'll make the motion.
I second.
I mean, everything's going up at least 2%.
Second by Carol.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have a signature page for us.
It does not require a signature, so as long as you're okay, we'll do it.
Thank you. Yeah, this discussion actually with leash law. If anybody wants a copy of this, they can have it. Leash law, the penalties and everything. I know, Coach, you wanted to talk about this a little bit.
Well, I mean, obviously, this is, as was said in the last meeting, something that we're going to have to deal with. We can't put it off. As the chief said, yeah, you know, we have leash laws, but who do the animals belong to? That's a problem. I have noticed some, and this sounds elementary, I know, but some people put pictures on Facebook and people identify who the dog belongs to at times. I've spoke with residents in that part of town. They're frustrated, they're upset, they're aggravated. You know, we've been fortunate through the years. 2 folks that were sitting there a while ago who aren't here, Courtney and her husband, did an amazing job for a long time. And now we're stuck. You know, they got to a point they didn't want to deal with it anymore, and certainly couldn't blame them. It's a Loogootee problem. It's a county problem. I think maybe it's a Shoals problem. And well, but this is a problem that we have to take care of. And I know the chief and I have talked. We thought we had a meeting set up this summer with the sheriff. He didn't show up. Let's be blunt, for whatever reason. So maybe we got to take the lead and do what we have to do from the city standpoint. Maybe get, I don't, Humane Society. There's still board members on there. Talk with those folks. They would know a direction to go. Perhaps the community foundation could help financially to get it started. There's a lot of possibilities, but it has to be more than just verbiage. We have to move forward and do something.
Like I said last meeting, I gave the county $15 million in reserves, so.
Oh, you were serious about that.
Oh, I did.
Oh. Well, okay.
Back in March.
Before the $5 million bond.
Back in March, what, 15 plus million right now.
Can I ask a question about that, Christina? If you had the money and money was allocated, what's the money for? I understand there's a dog problem in the Humane Society people, it sounds like, maybe moving and leaving the area.
Mhm.
So if you had money, what's the purpose of having the money? What does that solve?
Well, we had an animal control officer at one time, right? And that helped alleviate some of the problem.
So that money would, part of that would go to pay for the animal control?
I would think so. I would think,
Coach, I can address some
yeah,
of this if
sure.
you don't mind,
Please.
because I've researched this to no end. So I would say that. So, you know, you hear a lot of conjecture, right, about, well, why don't we just have a couple of kennels out here, right, behind each, wherever, city hall, whatever. Well, you know, that would be a temporary fix, right? We have no way of hauling a dog, right? Or a raccoon, you know, it's not just dogs. I mean, we have rabbits, raccoons all over the place. So, but my point is, if we have the kennels, you know, who's going to take care of them once we put them in there? Let's say night shift. I guess I'll keep it there. But, we put them in the kennels. Who's going to feed that dog? Who's going to water that dog? Who's going to exercise that dog? And more importantly, what are we going to do with it? We just can't leave it in a kennel for, you know, a month.
If he's any kind of cheeky, to just take it home with him.
What's that? Oh, I got enough right now. I got 2 police dogs. I don't need more. So, so really, that's not a solution. That's kind of something that would be a temporary fix, but we have to have something long term. If we had the Humane Society, right, or a reasonable facsimile of that, where we could take them, and you know they're open for any amount of time, then perhaps we could get those dogs adopted, right, or cats, or whatever the issue is. But we spend, and I'm not saying that we run calls constantly, right, as the police department, but we are relatively busy. And, you know, going on dog calls where there's nothing we can do, right, we have no alternative. So essentially, and it's horrible because the only thing we can say is there's nothing we can do, right? And if anybody knows anything about me, I always try to find a solution. Well, there is no solution, right, without having some type of alternative to take these dogs. If we had an animal control officer that could take those dogs, like I said, we had 11 in 4 days, right? And that's on my shift. That's from 6 to 2, 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. So that's a lot of dog calls. So if we had some place to take these animals where they can reside. In addition, once they are at the kennel or the Humane Society, it takes food, it takes medicine, and Dr. No, Lockmiller, thank you. Dr. Lockmiller, yeah, I keep pointing over there. You know, she's been spending her time and effort pro bono to take care of these dogs, you know, to spay, neuter, to medicate, you know, things like that. So we've actually have a really good resource in her, right, to take care of these animals. You know, it just pains me to see these animals out in the middle of the storm. And you know, I was at the gym the other day, and there's this little bitty one out in the middle, you know, walking in front of the gym, you know, just soaked, and it was pouring rain. And so, you know, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to the residents, you know, in case you know the dogs do something to them, right, or another dog or cat or whatever. So, if we had an animal control officer, right, that would actually work, right, and be on call. And it's just that, well, if you're making in today. So that could, and I think once that animal control officer works diligently, within a month or so, we will have this population reduced down. Now, consequently, we have to have a place to take them, right? Or the animal control officer would have to have a place to take them, right? So that's the conundrum, right?
Okay,
So
what
that's where the
about,
money would go, would be food, water, buildings. Yes, sir.
when you had your discussion with Sheriff Green, you and the mayor?
We
Well,
did. 'Cause it
We,
shows.
we didn't have it.
So I have another question about the facility. Right now, it sounds like we have a facility. Do we own the facility? Does the city own the building?
The city owns the ground.
The city owns the ground. Who owns the building?
The Humane Society. The Humane Society itself, here in the county owns it. The actual,
Do we know where we're at in in that lease, we have another 5 years at least. on
That was a 100-year lease and it was done in.
Okay, so.
It's
so
in
my
need, it's in
question-
need of repair. Somebody would have to go to help repair it. It's not,
So we've identified, a director who's willing to take on this role, under certain conditions, right? Those conditions of this individual would have to be considered among the powers that be. And that begs the question, who are the powers that be? Because in my opinion, this person's not gonna stop at the county or at the city limits if there's a need to address the dog that's out in the cold or somebody who's afraid of the dog. You're not gonna say, well, this is the city limits, right? And I can't cross this, which begs the question, is it incumbent upon the county also to help pony up some dough? So if you guys can get with the county and the town of Shoals, and if you guys can all come up with an agreement that the city, the county, and the town of Shoals will all bear a portion of the burden.
From the town of Crane.
Yeah, that's, I don't know anything about that, Mr. Mayor, if you would be more, in the know about whether or not, but if that falls under the jurisdiction of the need, this person is kind of, this person's aware of the need here, and they're willing to sit down and put a plan together for the repair. They've seen the building, they understand the work, they know about Dr. Lockmiller, and they spay and neuter clinic next door, and they put a great deal of time and thought into how to resolve this. But you guys are gonna have to get a buy-in from each other, because it's gonna have to be funded, right? We're not gonna come in and do it for free. They've indicated they don't need a lot of money, but they need a budget, they need resources to be able to actually make it work. So if you guys can all get on the same page and get a buy-in from the county and from the town of Shoals, I think, especially with what the research that you've done about it, chief, it's gonna be like, this is a difficult situation.
are you gonna apply, Jason? You want to?
No,
Oh.
it's not me, it's not me. There's a person that delivers pallets of food over there regularly.
Okay.
It's kind of the person over in Jasper that handles a lot of this stuff privately. So they've been aware of the situation for a while, knowing that for you, it's not gonna be an
Yeah, I think what he said is spot on. I mean,
Yeah.
we decide what we're gonna do, get with the county, get with Shoals, get a humane society board to put in place, let them make these decisions and go from there. I
Yes,
mean,
sir. A couple more over on that. I have not personally been in the building. I just know it's extremely small. So they ran out of room really, really quickly. I think it needs to be obviously remodeled. From what I've heard, I've never been in there, so I'm not a witness to that. And it needs to be expanded. Certainly now it would need to be expanded. As many dog calls as we have, it's out of control. So it would fill up rapidly. And moreover on that is, not just that, we'd also need, to, oh my gosh, I just lost the train of thought. It'll come back to me. Yes.
I just had a question. Are you noticing that it's uptick of calls since the news is right news to the
No,
So this is
no,
nothing new.
this is nothing
Something you've
new.
been dealing with for a long time.
No, it's because, and no disrespect to them at all, it's just that they ran out of room, and nobody's adopting these animals, so they just keep getting, and then the animals we have out here, right, the 300 calls we've had since October, think how many dogs that is, right? So, huh?
The very best.
Yeah, right. So, but my point of that is we need to have room, right? We need to have
Chief.
room.
It's just an idea. What if we got with the sheriff, had a sit down, and we hired a animal control officer, then we could maybe partner and pay our share to Davis County or one of the other surrounding counties to take these dogs.
We've already tried that. So Davies
They will.
County will not do it because they are full. So they won't even entertain the thought.
We're gonna have to get with the county council, county commission.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna bring up. We've all endeavored to get with the county, right? And see how they can help support this effort, right? And it's just, dragging feet. And I'm not saying that maliciously. It's they, you know, for one reason or another, we're just not getting any traction, right? And we need to get some traction.
Chief, one last thing on this,
Yes, sir.
this leash ordinance, and it may be in this lady's neighborhood, I'm not sure. There's a dog on social media every couple of days in people's yards. Okay, we know who owns this dog. Can they be ticketed?
They can be
for-
cited, absolutely.
I think we need to, I think maybe we start doing that, maybe word will get out, maybe people maybe take a little bit more responsibility, we can hope.
Certainly.
But I think, like I said, it's in this neighborhood, and I've talked to some of the people over there, and I would see if we can do something with that.
Absolutely.
Thanks, sir.
Absolutely. That's the first I heard about it.
Does
Yeah.
the citing include a fine?
It does. So we can actually cite them one of two ways, right? And if anybody knows me, knows I'm not a big ticket writer, right? Because people have bills to pay, right? And right now it's, you know, giving somebody a ticket, that's a lot of money that a lot of people don't have, right? Unless you really tick me or one of my officers off, that probably won't happen. So my point of that is we have two ways we can find them. We can find them through the ordinance, the city ordinance, or we can find them through a state statute, okay? Now, the state statute is a little more, there's a little more emphasis on that, and it is more costly than an ordinance. So I truly believe that if you give somebody a ordinance ticket, it's not exorbitant amount of money, then they're more likely to be like, hey, you know, they gave us a break, instead of opposed to giving us a big fine through the state statute. So yes, to answer your question, we have two ways we can go about it. Now, if this is a continual thing, we will bump it into a state statute, and, you know, that's a big chunk of change. So,
I showed in Jasper, first one free, second one you pay out for, third one you pay out a lot for.
yeah, that's what they
And
do.
the fourth
Same
one,
like here.
they take your dog and they don't discuss it.
Yes, sir, and that's what we do here. So the
We're
first
just-
one, we're gonna give them a warning, the second, we'll give them the ordinance, the city ordinance, and then the third one will give them the state, and that's a pretty good hefty.
So we'll reach out to the county.
Yes, sir.
Mayor.
Hi.
Thanks, Todd. Before I kind of give you a little, I know a little bit of background about it, but, so I understand that the sheriff decided he did not want to have to go the county decided to pull the money back. So the county has the money for the animal control. The county. We don't. Now, I don't know if it's exacerbated the situation that we've had here, but that's the bottom line. And then when the sheriff made a comment about shooting dogs, instead of putting them in, as the couple here, I look at it. Because we're not a kill county. So, and that's part of the reason why they're no longer part. So there's a little bit more background than that. I think the only way we can get the county to do it is if we pass a referendum to send to the county and say, hey, we need you guys to fund this position so the council and the commissioners can actually do something about it. Because if not, I mean, what are they doing? They're blowing us off, right? You guys have been waiting to talk to the sheriff or anybody else in the county for 3 or 4 months now. It's only getting worse. The leash law will help for a little bit for onesie twosies, but like you said, he's got 4 leashes out of 300 calls. Or four callers. So a referendum to the county would force them to do something. Even if it's just one of these things to you guys, but at least you guys have said, hey, we need an animal control officer in the county. You guys have the money in your budget. Here's our referendum to make you guys do something about it. No, no.
It was only like, I'm gonna say it's only $9,000.
Yeah.
Personally, paid to see.
Probably pay for their gas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a full-time position, it was definitely a position.
Well, I would encourage everybody to go over to the county commissioner council meeting too. Put
I
some
have a
pressure that
question
way.
about that. I don't want to belabor it, but Chief, you said you had 11 dog calls
In 4 days.
in 4 days. Okay. That feels to me like we're supposed to be spending our money to deal with that, right? And so I'd be interested to know how many county calls they get, like, isn't there a record, like, don't you guys?
Yes, sir.
keep a
So,
record of that?
that's how I didn't come here till February. The mayor didn't hire me till February. So, but I had Mandy, our dispatcher, I had her go back to October. I just kind of had 6 months buffer, you know, because I didn't know historically where we were at. So she went back 6 months, October each. And so that's how many it was from October till this was April, right? So we've had tremendous amount of calls since then, or it might have been May. I didn't bring that document with me. However, it's averaging the same amount.
Here within the city.
Yes, sir.
Does anybody know what the county?
I do not. Now, they
I
would have
don't
a
think they even
record of that.
respond to theirs.
Yeah, they're not even replying to the call.
I called one time, they told me to take a picture of it and put it on Facebook and see if I was getting it.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the
Yes,
next
sir.
item here. Last thing is the special use of equipment fees, and what that actually means or is we use our street sweeper for the town of Shoals. We got the town of Crane wanting to, have us come up there and clean their streets for them. I know Bo goes over to Shoals at times, and a couple other people do as well. And Bo and I've been talking about this for a little while, and we need to come up with some type of fees, because the current fee and the hourly rate is not even close to where it should be.
But there's a lot more to that as well, to expand a little bit. We have specialty equipment that we have used to assist other communities with. Montgomery, Shoals, for example. We need to put a price tag on it. In an emergency situation, if the guy goes up, helps the neighboring community, we pat on the back. But if they call and ask for something, hey, can you come out of your way? I think that there needs to be a price tag put on this stuff, as well as damaging equipment. We've got a lot of people going out here and running over these water meter pits. Not only tears up their lawnmower, but it tears up our metering apparatus. I think there needs to be fees set on all that, something in writing that says, do this, don't do that. I know the town of Shoals, they've got a town policy that says, if you're caught in my meter pit, I'm gonna fine you $500. And I don't know if they've enforced it or not, but it scares people to think that I've got a water leak, I'll just go out here and turn my water off. But you can't do that anymore. We've always pushed for that. Call us, we're always on call. Somebody will respond. But they still insist on shutting off the water meter at the meter pit. That stuff belongs to us. If it breaks, then they call us and say, I need my water shut off. Oh, how did this get broke? Well, I don't know. So I think that we need to sit down and develop a lot of policies and procedures with penalties as such.
Do you have some ideas about how other cities handle that and do that?
Yeah, they penalize them.
I mean, you have them out.
No, I do not.
Or is, leasing city-owned equipment to other towns and cities? You think you can come up with some numbers on that, Bo?
That's my goal, is to be finding the time to get all this stuff done. My time's limited.
That's good.
I was hoping that we could sit down, have a powwow, put our heads together, come up with a reasonable fee, and then I can expand on it whenever it gets.
Okay, thank you.
I don't believe there's anything else.
Is there a policy, code of conduct for elected officials in the ability, as far as social media is concerned? Because I see a lot of transphobia, homophobic, racist stuff coming out of this elected group. I'm just wondering, should you data policy. Because y'all are the officials who represent everybody. And people of color, there's people of safety, healthy people, there's serving. You see on your social media, trash. You put that on your social media.
You're talking about
Try to contact the girl.
as far as using their personal computers or using government.
Getting on social media.
I mean, I think that perhaps if they're using city-funded equipment, that's something that could be regulated, but what they do in their own personal time, I don't believe is anything we can do. People have First Amendment rights.
But when they work for all of us, it should be at first contact. No, I think so.
I agree with
People at the
that.
White House,
I agree with you on that.
They cut the Supreme Court. You know, well, there goes, you all work for us. You remember that, right?
We represent everybody in the city, not a certain group, organization, church, or anything. We represent everybody.
We see it different on the social media. I think y'all know the not to be shared with everybody. So that's what.
Okay. Kendra, yes.
So for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Kendra Hovis. I'm the superintendent at School Community School. And I'm here just to express my gratitude to the council and Loogootee Police Department. We, unfortunately, the sheriff of Martin County discontinued our partnership and provided SRO in our school district. And we are small at Shoals, so we didn't have the means to start our own police department. And we didn't know the department fully without security because of the discontinuation of the fit. And I'm not able to share why he discontinued that because I myself believe in the reason I could get an answer. So I did reach out to Chief Hunt and he, within just a couple of days, got right back with me. The mayor, we met and I hope it passes. I don't know if it has, but if you guys have voted on or haven't, I just want to express my gratitude for being open to this and thank you for considering the price here to the 700 students that we have at Fort.
It did pass last month,
It's
based
wonderful.
on the changing of the language and taking out the county sheriff, putting in the city and the Shoals school working to do.
Thank you so much.
So it did pass.
Kidder, we have a, omission and an addition, to the, MOU. So I'm sure you'll approve it. It's nothing major, but, we've got it over here. So if you wanna, glance at it after we conclude the meeting, you'll be satisfied.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
You made the motion?
I did.
Mark? Second?
Aye.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Right.
All right.
Meeting adjourned.
Oh, it's